Hi there guys, this is Cody Kitchens for Group 16, here to take you through our music box project proposal. First we'll start off with the problem definition and requirements that you can see here. Our problem definition is basically just to create a series of instruments for a band on tour, and that fulfills all their economic and space requirements. So you can see some of our requirements there, and then we have more of our design guidelines here. One thing of note is all of our instruments will be designed to play Ode to Joy. So you'll see all the notes chosen based on that. You'll see our weighted requirements here. I've got expense, size, functionality, and aesthetics. Of course, aesthetics is weighted the least, and size and functionality got equal ratings of 35 each. So that brings us to my portion of the project, which was the low voice percussion. I'm going to be building a marimba inside a small wooden box. You can kind of see just a breakdown of what I'm going to be doing here. The box itself will be plywood, but the bars will be simply supported, and they'll be made out of oak and bolted on with felt washers. You can kind of see it will be coming in right at cost. That is my tech drawing that you see right there. Pretty self-explanatory, except the only thing I wasn't able to fit on there is that the top of the box will have a fitted lid on top so that we can slide that in on the bottom and the rest of the instruments can be stacked on top, making the most of the space. And here you'll see just a breakdown of my equations, obviously using the frequency model to solve for length, and you'll see the lengths of the bars and the notes that I'll be requiring. Without further ado, here's Angel.
Hello, and I'm Angel Martinez, and I am actually doing the second string for the band in a box for this design project. I had a couple of different designs, very simple ones that weren't going to be feasible, such as a bamboo stick with a rubber band, and also a canister with the string attached to the top and the bottom while turning the lid to tighten it up for different notes. It's a manual process, so it wouldn't work. So I decided to go with a kind of a smaller version of a cigar box guitar. And really, there was a couple of challenges there. One of them was just really to understand the relationships between the wavelength, standing waves, and kind of the string length to produce a certain frequency you wanted. And then also the other challenge was, maybe the length of the standing wave that needed to be calculated, considering the particular length of what they call the sail length of the guitar, to actually play the lower voice frequencies or voice range of Ode to Joy. So that being said, the string specifications that I had are listed here. If you look, everything's accessible from kind of really a local hardware store, nothing too major there. And then the proposed cost, by looking at what you see there, you actually see everything is all under within the $15 requirement. So we're good on that piece of it. And then here's the technical drawing of the actual proposed guitar in a box, if you will. Or not guitar in a box, but a cigar box guitar, and pretty self-explanatory. If you look at this, it's the right view, the front view, and the top view as well. And then here's the equations based off of the two strings that I'm planning on using, and the calculations. It was a very simple calculation, taking basically the fundamental frequency of those two strings, based off of what off of a standard string, and traditionally what that note is at the fundamental frequency. You basically use that equation right there listed for both those strings, and it gives you the actual equation or the length of the string, as long as the tension and velocity remain the same, to be able to produce the different notes that I will be utilizing for Ode to Joy.
Hi, my name's Zach Johnson, and I'm from Team 16. My proposed design is a string mid-low voice ukulele, also known as the mini ukulele. Here's a breakdown of my mini ukulele. The wood neck will be a 2x4 made of pine wood. The frame will be a wood jewelry box, much like this. The tuning machine will be hardware brackets and bolts. The nut or bridge will be pin housing, much like one of these. The frets will be nails that are used to place on top of the neck. The length will be between 13.5 inches and 12 inches. I chose to use nylon strings for this instrument. The tail will be softwood. Ukulele design number 1 Here's a brief overview. Ukulele design number 2. And here's a decision matrix that led me to chose one ukulele over the other. As you can see, design number 2 is the clear winner with a score of 765. Here's my frequency calculations. Over here to the right, you can see that I calculated out the links that I would need to go up from the bridge in order to get the required notes.
Hello, my name is Kyle Gilsdorf. I was tasked with the wind instrument. What I've done here is I've shown you some of the questions I've had to answer before I actually chose an instrument. For example, the source of the sound wave, establishing the timbre, and how do we play different notes. In general, the source of the sound wave comes from the mouthpiece or a hole, and the way we actually apply our lips to the instrument. The timbre is actually a resultant of the length of the tube, and we're going to assume that it's basically got a hole on both ends. And so now the next thing, we know we actually have to play a certain number of notes based on the song we have chosen, which is Ode to Joy. And so the idea here is you just place holes at different places on the tube, and what happens is as you release your fingers from the tube, you're actually shortening and the wavelength, thus increasing the frequency. How did I decide what instrument? Well, realistically, I just did a weight matrix here, a decision matrix. And the flute was just the simplest design I could actually come up with. The frequency calculations in general, what I found on my research was that the general airspeed of a flute, or at least when you apply your lips and you basically create an airstream, it's around 20 to 60 meters per second. I chose 30 just to have a sort of a good estimate. And that basically told me I needed less than a foot of material. And the cost breakdown. Realistically, it's only 1 foot of wooden pipe, half-inch radius, pre-hollowed, $1 for painting. So what's going to happen here is it's about $6. And to me, this seems like a simple, solid design.
All right, folks, that's all we have for our team proposal. Thanks for watching, and here are a few references just to leave you on.